Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to MSI 2026. We are hot dropping straight into Champion Select here as we get into game number 3. As KC try to find it, try to figure it out to bring themselves back into this series and possibly get themselves a reverse sweep. But their backs could not be closer to the wall.
Well, luckily for them, Lee Sin, Jose cannot play it again. And they're still banning the Akali. That is a good ban against Quid.
All right, there we go. Some homework has been done.
Some, not all of it.
The Bard also going to be taken away here. And first pick now available for TL. See what Morgan is going to be taking away. I always just think it should be Renekton. But that's because all I care about is Morgan and playing his favorite champion.
They did ban the Jace.
Chances. Instead, Nautilus going to be locked in for CoreJJ.
Yeah, this is because you're kind of hitting on towards like the comforts that are being taken away for Team Liquid, but a lot of those comforts are gone for KC as well, right? Like the top lane, the Rumble being taken away, the Vayne was even a big pick for Canna domestically. The Busio's champion pool has been whittled down as well, so I am curious what the plan is going to be here, as Jhin was not the high priority that I was expecting.
I was thinking about Jhin, but not positively. The
I
Varus
was
going to be the
gonna
choice
say,
instead.
I haven't been a fan of Varus after the nerfs.
Yeah,
but
same.
The team still are. So they're going to take it away. And Yeon himself has been a fan of it too.
He had a good game on it, right? They played the only lethality Varus that we've had so far this season, this tournament, and did pick up a victory. As Yike is not allowed to play the bird.
Yeah, maybe it's just the Xin Zhao here, and you just try and look for a push on bot lane into play towards the Xin Zhao.
Oh,
okay.
What about an immediate Sylas pickup?
I mean, honestly, the Sylas buffs I thought were really crazy. I've been waiting for Sylas to come out either in mid or in jungle.
I mean, Sylas into Alistar is just so good.
Yeah. The Alistar, though, was one of Busio's pick from the first split that he was exceptionally good on and was able to make a lot of plays on the roams. So trying to find an answer into the Nautilus I think makes sense as well, because you hook him with the Nautilus, you get the Pulverize to interrupt. And there is your pick.
There it is.
Atlas.
Morgan gets his Crocodile, and I am a very happy man. Senna is going to be hovered here for Quid for the moment. They will lock that one down. So Senna, not as powerful as she was the patch prior, but is still able to get work done in the later stages with a whole bunch of extra range.
Yeah, and honestly, should still be able to stack souls off Alistar pretty nicely with the double melee support matchup for bottom lane. So even though the kill drop percent chance for the souls was nerfed, still could farm them pretty nicely off the melee champs.
And Sion was tapped on this patch but didn't really do anything. Still, we have seen Renektons have a better time in this matchup so far this tournament. Canna still going to go towards that one, try and nullify the Crocodile out of Morgan. I think Doran was the one that tried to do this against Morgan and really failed to do so, even though they did win the game.
Yeah, Morgan did solo kill him. Looking good. Morgan has really been on fire this tournament and at the end of our playoffs as well, so definitely worth the confidence there. Now let's look towards mid and jungle, though, because we're starting to get down to it. I always think that Trundle is just so OP versus a Sion team. Not only because the ult, but also the pillar is so good. Okay, there you go. Yes. Protection ban the Trundle.
That is a very good ban. I think if they had have locked in Trundle Sylas, I would have been like, well, we can go home. Pack it up. But they are going to be able to ban away that Trundle.
And then, since Trundle is banned, you mentioned Xin. Xin is now higher priority since Trundle is banned away there too, so maybe we raise the priority here for jungle.
We also have seen things like Skarner in the LEC and that have been working very well, especially if you just do want this tank front line for KC. And then you've always got the option to try and leave that counter pick for kyeahoo as this goes on. Maybe
they have so many tanks already with the Sion and the Alistar.
Yeah.
How much beef is too much beef?
I mean, you got a cow, so there's a lot of beef.
Yeah, they can probably play whatever they like. And the other thing that is like the counter matchup that we've seen into Xin Zhao of old is the Kazakhs that we've seen already hovered and considered. That's not a tank. That does the damage. The Sylas going to be banned away as well. It's KC. They're not allowed to listen to the broadcast, so that is just their choice. And not going to deny me what I wanted. Okay, one last ban to come through here from TL. Let's see whether they focus on kyeahoo again or whether it is going to be something else.
There's going to be a lot of bans gone towards the mid lane, or a lot of champions gone from the mid lane. So I'm curious what the plan is. I mean, Hui did get buffed, and I've kind of been a little surprised that we haven't seen a bit more of him. I mean, that'll definitely be something for like Cream for top esports later on, but I thought teams might try and look towards it. Just going to be the Taliyah instead.
All right. Going to be making Morgan's life a little bit more difficult. Can certainly get some work done into the Nautilus there as well.
So they need point-and-click CC to go with their Taliyah to set it up for jungle. But Pantheon was already played. So Vi, anybody? We're banned already, so I don't know. Gets kind of difficult there.
It's looking a little murky
for the KC side, but I like it for the TL side here to go for a Shyvana angle when you do already have a bottom lane. This is a very similar carry jungle. When you have Senna Nautilus, having carry jungle is really, really powerful. Nautilus is going to give you the CC setup, and Senna's obviously going to allow the Olaf to stay in the middle of the fight. And
true damage for the Alistar as well actually can help.
Yeah, and you can immune all the CC of all, you know, Taliyah and Alistar and Sion, so.
And I was wondering if we might actually get the Rek'Sai on the other side of the Yike that's been let through, but could Quid get his hands on a very much a comfort pick for him, but just maybe the Ahri instead, just going to swap away.
Would have been a very physical composition if they had locked in the Yeon. But, I mean, Yeon does do mixed damage, so I guess there's that. The Ahri going to be the choice instead.
I mean, Jose just dropped, what was that, like a 13 bomb, 14 kills or something on him. So, like, you know what? You're going to be the Olaf. You're going to be the main carry here, buddy. Olaf.
Should have played Lulu mid or something weird like that, you know, like just try and augment Janna mid. Let's go. As that is going to be the Qiyana locked in for Yike. Damage coming out of the jungle, it's what we were kind of looking for in this one, just in general. And Qiyana Taliyah has been a pretty powerful combo as well.
My only worry for the Qiyana is, like, Team Liquid should have push in that top side, and if they can start to get Olaf into the enemy jungle, I think that's where Qiyana will really start to struggle in that 1v1 against the Olaf. So I think if Team Liquid can try and play around Josedeodo as they had in the past, that becomes a very big win condition for them. Whereas for KC, I think it is trying to play for, as you say, like that big wombo combo through that mid jungle, and hoping that Yike can have some of those combos we saw against T1, but actually get the win this time rather than it falling a bit flat.
I do love the around the world Qiyana ults when you have a Taliyah wall connecting the other sides of Summoner's Rift, and you just get the longest Qiyana ult of all time.
That could be an option. I'm very worried for the Qiyana in the 1v1 matchup, though, because I feel like after 15 minutes, you will just get run down by the Olaf.
At least Qiyana can utilize grass really well.
Yeah, that's true. You can go invisible.
Tricky. You definitely don't want to fist fight the Olaf, but you have to use trickery to your advantage. Trickery with grass and then go for burst damage.
Still, I do feel like these compositions a lot more evenly matched and not as weird as far as the matchups are concerned in the last couple of games. And with how KC like to play, which is a lot of slow and steady, or at least that's what I heard, slow and steady gameplay, that might be able to help them out here. And we'll see whether they can get us to a fourth game for the first time this tournament.
When we have seen Busio, though, on this Alistar, it has been much more about getting active in the early stages, very similar to what we saw in things like the Camille. So maybe less slow and steady for KC in this one, but we'll have to see how this one pans out.
And speaking of getting active early, Olaf and Nautilus, pretty good invade combo. So they had a little soft invade up there towards the top side, but right back to Raptor start for both junglers. And they are going to power clear. Now, I will say, this little bit of information is quite nice. They got to leave this ward behind on Krugs too. So you can track this Qiyana.
All right, Ahri in the game. Vendetta is Riftbound's next set, ladies and gentlemen. It's arriving on July 31st, and it brings together new champions, iconic rivalries, and beautiful art from across Runeterra. And here is the new Ahri card as well. And she's already got one. We've already got up to the next Ahri. Very cool.
I heard Ahri is pretty popular. In all of our
Vetty is a
lots of
big
skins,
fan of the Ahri.
Cards.
Yeah. I would have expected to get more Lux. That was what I was thinking.
True.
And let's see whether history is going to repeat itself, as it was a bit of a fight, but I think you guys can talk about this.
Yeah, first stand. I mean, Spawn talked about it to us last night, and he was like, why do everybody think that EU's going to beat us? Like, Spawn beat them at first stand. It was 2-1, so it's not going to be exactly a repeat. especially if TL have their way this game.
Yep, CoreJJ with the fire. He's like, we beat them last time, and that'll happen again.
Yeah, but in EU memory, it's we made it to finals. That means we're gooder. So that was kind of what we were hoping for. The problem is we don't really get the second chance if we lose this one. We're just out of the tournament.
I don't think you're going to get to finals again.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
that's
KC,
not going to
happen.
Well, we still hope G2 can do it.
No, yeah, I meant the we as in the KC
Yeah,
we. G2 certainly with an opportunity to do so, as we are going to have a look at all three of the lanes here. Currently with no big advantages just yet, but you can see Canna holding his own quite nicely into Morgan in this top lane.
Yeah, Morgan got the push. Meanwhile, bot side push here for KC with Caliste and Busio, utilizing the Varus effectively here early on. And so it should just be split Scuttle Crabs for these two junglers. Opposite side clears. Of course, as we said, they both start their Raptors, so you're going to have the early Raptor respawns for both of them. They're both trying to power farm, both trying to get to their level 6s. So it should be fairly calm, and everything going kind of according to plan here. You get a little bit of extra time, of course, after your first clear, so this is like the 90% jungle play. You almost always just leave your ward over their Raptors. And he's going to cross here, too, over towards Yike, back to his Raptors. And so we'll both have vision of each other doing our second clears
and
our long swords.
Yeah, Quid going to lose a bit of his health bar, but that is all that really results from that last play. As Yeon and CoreJJ just down here just trying to hold down the fort. I don't think you're expecting to win this matchup as the Senna Nautilus, just with the power of the Varus early, has gone lethal tempo, so we're not going to get the lethality Varus, and I actually really like this. I do feel like they need consistent damage moving into that late game, and let's just hope that Caliste can have good positioning so that he can actually get those autos down.
Yeah. Meanwhile, look at Olaf. We have a little deviation from Jose. He did not go into a standard re-clear here. He's taking some extra time on this crashing wave.
And Yike moving towards the top side as well. Flash out from Morgan already as he slices away. Does avoid the damage there from the Q, then does back away as we had a look at Josedeodo in game 2. Yeah, just breaking records and making records here after that incredible Lee Sin performance. And we'll see what he can do on the Olaf.
Yeah, so he had a little bit of extra time there because of the extra time spent killing the red on the previous clear. Goes back now for Krugs. And both of them, honestly, very close to mirrored vision, too, that they left behind.
Yep.
With the control ward also being left behind here in TL side to see their second clear.
And I actually remember one of our first jungle pentakills was actually on an Olaf. Can't quite remember who it was that picked it up. It was probably someone like Peanut or Canyon, because generally most of our records are. But I can't remember off the top of my head. But possible opportunity for Jose to do the same thing.
Yeah, especially as this game goes later. Like 3 items on towards the Olaf, plus having the Senna to support is huge.
But Pulverize from Busio makes his way in. As Piercing Darkness actually working out quite nicely from Yeon as they avoid the Piercing Arrow as well.
Yeah, it does feel like Busio trying to get control over this bottom side. You can see multiple pings going on towards the second Scuttle spawn. So that's where KC is starting to rotate to now.
And you can see the pings right now. They're question mark pinging the Gromp that they have the ward on. So they're like, okay, he's not doing Gromp. He must be doing Dragon right now. Their bottom lane just pushed in and moved up. And TL can't do anything about it, even though they can surmise his position. And good call from KC, because as we said, they had basically the mirrored setup on the opposite side of the map, so they knew Jose was up on top side and get their first dragon for KC.
Yep, Jose is going to be able to clear out this control ward, but his position was known as well, moving up towards the Raptor camp potentially.
He is faking going for the Raptor respawn though, and now moving down to cover his own. So Yike will move across with Busio, but Jose will be here. Now spotted that the Olaf is on us.
Good vision on both sides, to be honest. This is sort of a bit of an information battle as Yike is able to steal this one away. The wall goes down, but Quid gets him off it. Kyeahoo is just going to back away. So just trying to play defensively here, KC, making sure that no Biffo goes down in this early stage and things remain incredibly even.
Jose still trying to get this re-invade though. No push in mid for him.
Smite. He knows Yike just used his smite, but good draw there from Yike. Pulls him all the way back into the brush.
It's a little risky though, because he is only level 5 versus the level 6, and Kyeahoo had shoved in mid, and Quid had just reset. So could have potentially been a moment for KC, but decided not to pull the trigger. So now he has to walk back down towards his bottom side, giving Yike a little bit more time again to just farm up a bit of a lead for himself.
Well, another headbutt pulverize does come on through here as Chains of Corruption come down at the same time. Busio only level 5, so he doesn't have the unbreakable will as Yeon trying to do his best. CoreJJ flashing away with the hail of arrows. He's going to connect max range on the anchor to get the escape out from this Nautilus, but did still have to use the flash in the play.
Yeah, Busio doing a good job of body blocking the hook to the terrain in front of him so that then you have to burn the flashes. CoreJJ still manages to escape, but it does give KC a little bit of an advantage now on that bottom side.
Yeah, Jose was moving down. That's why you saw Yeon playing so aggressively. And KC, they smelt it. So they are going to be able to back away successfully. And no big advantages being picked up. Even this Senna lane actually doing fine as far as farm. I think that is going to be entirely evened out as these minions do get taken. Let's teleport back in as Caliste is going to face check. Does get snared. Piercing Darkness comes down, but the Piercing Arrow is there as well. A lot of piercing from both of these 80 carries.
Busio using that teleport off the Summoner Spellbook, though, to get back into the lane means they should be able to get a plate for themselves, although maybe not wanting to overextend too much. Still unsure as to where the Olaf is quite at the minute. But they'll open up a roam for Busio. And I think that's where they really do want to try and unlock Busio from this bottom lane right now, get him active on the map.
Yeah, Alistar pretty good at making an impact in other lanes. We'll be able to move into mid, but you can see that he is shadowed by CoreJJ immediately.
Yike also wants to use his ultimate as Jose starts up the grubs. This may be the area to do it.
Yeah, Morgan going to move down, and the Sion is in the bottom lane. KC, man disadvantage for this particular objective, and I think that they are just going to back away and just let Canna create some control for themselves by taking this bottom lane out. Yeon is going to lose a bunch of his health bar as Canna is just basically unaware of the turret's existence.
It felt like a very late swap from KC, though, because, oh, hang on, is Yike going to get caught here?
Well, Yike is moving down. There was a lot of good vision here from TL. So CoreJJ making his way in. The flash on forward, flash out from Yeon as well as Yike gets a supreme display of talent, but the ulti from Yeon keeps him alive for a little longer, just not quite long enough as First Blood does go over to the Sion.
Ahri roam from Quid.
Yeah, no flash available here for Canna, no ulti as well, but he gets into the minion wave. I don't know whether it's going to be enough though as the charm still goes wide. Anchor is going to be there to lock him down, and it's TL that even out the kills.
Okay, little shutdown there for Quid on the compensation play. Mid lane does get pushed in the top.
Yeah, there is the dominance here from Morgan. Flashes forward, and now the Ragnarok is going to get popped from Jose. Caliste going to get taken down first. Busio nowhere to run as there is the true damage. And it's Morgan that locks up the kill in the end.
Yeah, they split it there. Morgan's like, all right, I'm going to take the second one.
Yep.
Holds off, and gets it. One for each of the TL Bash brothers in the top lane.
Man, that is exactly what you want to see as the Olaf, though. You can just ulti and walk forwards towards him. He flashed to get in position.
Lane, yeah. Knowing that there was no real follow-up that KC could have. Once the Olaf ends up getting that ultimate, you can't keep him off the carry. Caliste goes down. Morgan stays alive for so long. And TL picking up big wins in the top lane.
Yeah, really good plan from TL there. Lying in wait, ready for the counter gank. Both flashing onto Caliste. Being able to get this kill. Now, a lot of summoner spells used, okay, because Yeon also had to use his earlier on the other side. So there's a couple areas for this Qiyana to attack. You saw how, effective Yike's ult was in the dive. Maybe he can get something going on the second one. With this Umbral Glaive, it is so nice to roam around, keep that vision control, so you can keep another pathway for Busio to help roaming with you.
Yeah, it did feel, though, that KC kind of fumbled the swap a lot, though, right? They end up being late towards the rotation to go for the grubs, and you end up then in this mix match where Josedeodo and Morgan can actually chase you down. You get the kill on the bottom side, but it's been a big win for TL. KC, though, now with the push on mid lane, going to move over towards the dragon. You have the TP for Morgan if they really want to, and Josedeodo's in the pit.
Wait, he just walks over. It is going to be the secure on the Drake, though, as Jose down to 50%. There's the Ragnarok to get him out of the CC. And now Quid dashes over the wall. There's the Orb of Deception and the ulti to come through, the Dawning Shadow to keep them alive. Yike down so incredibly low, but TL, they have to worry about the brick wall that is this Sion. The anchor is just going to go straight into Canna as Jose sidesteps the Q. Headbutt pole from Busio as he tries to take matters into his own hands. The shield, incredible onto Jose, but he is going to be taken down first. And the unbreakable will of this Alistar keeps him alive. Core also going to be kept alive at the same time as Quid, now in the back of the pit, does have to flash away. And Yike is hunting for these escaping members of TL, but they will be able to make their way out.
What the hell are the fights in these series? They're so close. Yike being chased down by Yeon, but should be able to just dash himself away. But oh my god, that was close.
I mean, Jose went in there. He has no flash. He's an Olaf in the pit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, he's going to ult away. But then he's just walking back and forth, strafing in the back of the pit. Teleport, though. The play's not done quite yet.
Yeah, it's Morgan making his way in as the ruthless Predator should be able to sink his fangs in. Sets up for the charm, and that is a very dead Sion. No options for Canna. And Morgan is just going to deal with this zombie as well. So that's TL getting another kill back. But look at the gold. I mean, KC is still in a fine position here in this game, and with Double Dragon.
Yeah, and you say it, Jose goes in. Canna is doing a good job of trying to buy space, but he has no damage behind him. Just kind of waiting. But Busio sees the moment for the knock-up. The ult from Canna gets some good damage. Yike snipes from the brush. And again, Canna kind of buying space on towards Quid and Yeon. Means that KC can kind of work their way in towards this pit again, but it got so dodgy towards the end of this, especially with that lockdown onto Caliste.
Yeah, it was a weird call from TL because Qiyana is really hard to outsmite because she has really good jungle monster modifiers, and then Yike did a good job using his ultimate as well. Gets the dragon and they get the kills afterwards. So KC, they bring the gold right back to even and 2 dragons stacking.
It is exactly even as well. And we have a Chemtech Soul. Oftentimes, people don't like Chemtech Soul. I'm seeing an Olaf and a Renekton and an Ahri. Like, there are so many champions. And a Senna. I mean, I skipped, like, the most important one. You get so much value from this Chemtech Soul because everyone can kind of be kept alive with shields and heals at lower health. And so this Chemtech Soul could be incredibly valuable, especially for TL. But, I mean, the same can be said on the other side of the Rift as well. Okay, let's see who is going to be able to keep stacking these up, whether it's going to be KC or whether it's TL finally prioritizing the Drake. Because I don't think TL have necessarily not had very much control in this game. They just haven't been focused on the Dragons.
Yeah, very much so, because they're looking at how their combo is going to operate later. You know, they're trying to bank on Yeon stacking souls and then getting some money into Jose so they can get to the point where this Olaf just gets to run at Varus and Taliyah, and those champions are not going to be able to dash away.
Nope.
And they need to get to the kind of the critical point where Jose and Morgan are going to be able to dive and put that pressure onto the back line.
I think that's why you can see KC trying to be so active at this portion of the game. Pushing in mid, trying to establish vision on the spot side, trying to shift both Busio and Yike towards either side of the map, maybe try and find a play, because they know that as this game starts to go on, this Olaf and this Senna are going to get significantly more terrifying for their backline. So hoping they can catch Team Liquid and start to blow open this game a little bit more in their favor.
All right, as the dust settles, we're moving back towards the mid lane. We're going to call it a K-Ram because we are in Korea at the moment. We're in the river at this particular point in time, as now the anchor comes forward. Get double knock up there from CoreJJ as they're looking for Caliste. He flashes out of the way, but it's not going to be able to escape Josedeodo right now as the train just drives past the Viking. Yike getting the supreme display of talent, but it's now Busio dead in this split fight. It works out so beautifully for TL. KC kind of just fell apart.
I thought it was going to take a while for the Olaf to get back to the Varus, but the Varus was right there in front of CoreJJ. CoreJJ nails him with the hook, and they full combo Caliste. It's a beautiful setup. Jose is like, great, I'll just be able to take the kill early. Take a look at this. So into the brush here, CoreJJ is going to walk over with Yeon, and then boom, right there, right into Caliste. And guess what? Olaf right behind him. So that's going to be a very dead Varus very early on. From that point, Tagda, you're basically trying to scramble and get people out, evacuate, but Quid also hitting the charm there onto kyeahoo as they're able to finish out Busio. And
I mean, I'm still trying to figure out why Caliste was walking towards the bush. They knew that the Nautilus was in.
That is one. There's also Canna deciding to drive the train past the very scary Olaf that did just lose Ragnarok, which could have potentially helped him and Yike make something happen. But was a bit of a mistake there from KC, and it does put TL in a fantastic position. The first big gold advantage here in this game is TL looking for that date against T1 coming up tomorrow to try and get themselves a spot in the main stage of MSI. Remember, this is just the lower bracket. There is still one more test to get yourselves towards that main stage coming up after this.
CoreJJ doing such a good job here, constantly sweeping, constantly throwing down control wards, and guess what? Now you're going to have to enter into the dragon area here versus TL, who are ready to dive again.
And I think CoreJJ has been such a standout performer for me for Team Liquid at MSI. He has really stepped up. The Nautilus in particular has been fantastic, and he may find Caliste once more here.
Yeah, Anchor going to connect onto Canna. This is going to be their first target in this fight. There's not a lot of follow-uppers. In the meantime, though, there is an Ahri lying on the floor. So Quid not able to do too much, and they're able to protect Canna with a great Weaver's Wall. This might actually be able to get KC this sole point that they've been looking for. TL, they do not want to give this one up, but I mean, it's so difficult without their mid laner, who doesn't have teleport as well. Busio goes in, gets the pulverizer, steal from Jose. Never mind, it wasn't. It was actually Riftail taking down a turret, as now we've got a team fight as Morgan knocked up into the sky, but he's going to get on top of Caliste once again. Busio is dead, and TL, they are still going to win the ensuing fight as the blast cone pulls back Canna. And he's able to unstoppably onslaught his way out of there. That was such a weird period of play.
Okay, they know where Morgan is. He does not want that fight.
Yeah, I got so enthusiastic because I saw that there was Olaf taking something, and the smite didn't actually come on through. KC were at least able to get themselves soul point.
Yeah, Busio does a good job. Like, he's just keeping him barely out of range, but this is the real surprise. Yeah, Quid deleted by Yike there. Nicely done by Yike right out of the brush, and Quid also flashed there. So not only did they delete him, but they also got his summoner spell.
Had he just teleported to that part of the map as well, on top of everything? So that's even more that he misses out on the next little while. Still, 2.6K going to be the advantage for TL, and breaking open the middle of the map going to be very important for this squad at the same time. So I think still in a good position, but giving over the soul is going to be a rough one, especially when KC do kind of want to speed things up. Getting to an early Elder could be dangerous here for TL before their Senna's online.
I think they still do have an exceptionally strong combo with Yike, though. You can see how quickly he could delete Quid.
Yeah.
If he ends up finding that big play in the middle of a team fight, that could be it. Like, the goal is 2.7K at this stage. Is nice, but not insurmountable for KC. But especially as Team Liquid now get to set up on side lanes, I think this is where they start to become more threatening. Like, Ahri very good in this position. Morgan on the Renekton with the lead, very strong. And Josedeodo more than happy to dive these turrets if it works for him.
Well, it might work for him right now, as they are moving towards Canna. The referee got something to say to this player. As Canna really wants to get rid of this turret, as Ahri just going to dash in front to make sure that he's not able to ult away, and he moves away from the turret. Not exactly opportune. It's going to take a while to kill him, but kill him they will. And TL now looking for an opportunity to take down this turret at the same time. They will be able to get it. 3 Grub's going to be helping out there. It's a zombie Sion, no help from the rest of his teammates. TL actually moving for a little bit more aggression in this mid lane.
Good block there from Busio. Caliste had the slow on him, so Yon was trying to thread the needle there and get the snare, but Busio just walks up and takes it, so nobody's going to die for KC there, and they'll still get their cross map of the tower, but nice play from TL. They just brute force. They're like, yes, we will be able to kill you. Jose doesn't even respect the zombie getting back up. He's like, ah, it's fine. You do whatever you want. I'm going to kill this tower too.
Yeah, also Morgan shifting from top lane, knowing, look, that tower is going to go down. I can't do anything about it. Covers the mid lane, so this Varus can't even get more of that plate gold. And now you're in a position where you get to re-establish yourselves on this top side with Baron up and available.
Yeah, it does seem hard for KC to combo like more than one person. Like, I'll definitely give you, Yike could definitely like one-shot Quid or one-shot Yeon, but if Olaf now on 2 items is able to run down your... Wait a second, they're going to make a big play on top side. That's everybody for TL.
Yeah, the whole gang. They got their whole gang together. Looking for an angle towards kyeahoo, but he is going to be able to pick up this wave. Looks like they're not looking for anything here. As Jose, wanting to spot Yike, does manage to find him there with the Scryer's Bloom. Now sprinting over. TL, I mean, they just want to kill someone.
Yeah. If he could even get someone's summoner spell right now, it'd be a really big win, because a minute on the dragon.
Yeah, Yike is going to get pushed away, though. Understands there are a lot of TL members moving on over. They have dropped vision towards that top side, so the counter Baron is not looking like an option here. And early control of this dragon area when you're staring down the barrel of Soul Point, smart idea.
Yeah, the map just feels so shortened for KC because you're constantly getting control over mid. Caliste can't really step up to contest that mid push, and then you're just shifting with CoreJJ, Josedeodo, and Yeon back and forth, getting all the vision you want, denying KC any access to river. And if anyone at all steps up, they just immediately die. Like, Canna is the only real tanky one in this team.
Yeah. And I think that TL should make the call to, prioritize diving kyeahoo instead of Caliste. Caliste right now isn't even going to do much damage if he's you know, if he's attacking people. But I think taking out the Taliyah first then would be the obviously like ideal priority. But you know, if Caliste is there too, also still a good target to run down. And okay, now he's got Rage Blade, so now it's definitely a little bit more threatening.
Yep, 2 items pretty scary here. We do have a couple for Yeon also put together though, as the Manamune has been completed now as well. And he's going to start doing a fair bit of damage himself. 62 on the Souls meter as well. It's not too shabby. As Jose standing on a ward. This could be a problem. As the teleport in from Morgan, will be able to augment this play.
Dragon here.
Yeah, just spawned. As Morgan spotted on Vision. There's Supreme Display of Talent only on to CoreJJ, but they are looking to burst him down. They find it as Yeon also gets a snare into that backline, but there is the interruption on Morgan. Dawning Shadow. Yeon doing so much work as they take 2 down already. No bottom lane left as Quid's dashing towards kyeahoo, who is just running for their hills. Morgan cares not for your turrets, KC. Although maybe he should, as he's taking a lot of damage. Does flash away, and Canna looking to flash after him. Does not find the angle as kyeahoo not going to be able to defend as they look to move back and take the dragon.
Okay, so KC, they do one-shot somebody, but it's only the Nautilus. And so Team Liquid then win in the scramble, and they're going to deny the Dragon Soul.
Yeah, Yeon played that fight so well. The immediate flash away from the Supreme Display of Talent so he doesn't get caught, and then gets the route on towards Caliste as well. As who wants to fight against Quid with the sidesteps though? Yeah,
Busio does make his way forward. Canna's here as well. Quid, ladies and gentlemen, is dead. The threaded volley is going to be able to take him, and that is the shutdown. So nicely done there. First kill going over to kyeahoo, and I think getting money on your Taliyah going to feel fantastic. Looking for that 3rd item and wanting to be able to augment the damage here for KC.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good follow-up play because, you know, that's how they killed Caliste, was Quid ult and flashing forward to follow up and get the charm on him off that route that you're talking about that Yeon was able to land on him. So they knew no mobility left for that Ahri. Let's punish him up on the side lane. Grab that shutdown money while we can.
All right, as the dust settles, we have the Soul denied, so 4 minutes on another opportunity for KC. But 1 Chemtech Dragon is not really going to mean too much for TL, and they have a long road ahead of them if they do want to even out the Drakes in this game. So KC still with a lot of tempo control, I think, in this game. But whether they can utilize it correctly is going to be the big question as we move forward. As we check out the Coinbase Gold Grind, Yeon doing a whole lot better than Caliste in this game, and better than I was expecting because he's playing center, and oftentimes you feel like you fall behind.
Yeah, and it does feel like there's kind of like a choice here from KC. They're not giving as much of that gold in towards Caliste. And you can see here, sorry, this was the fight. Yeon flashing away, then gets the route through onto Caliste, which then sets up perfectly for Quid to flash forward. He gets the pick, and really so much of this fight being off the back of Yeon playing this exception and then setting up for Josedeodo to kind of knock them down where they'd already been set up.
Exactly, running them down, getting the extra kills here. Of course, on the top side, you have the escape. Now we're back to it.
Yep, more fighting as Yike going to get taken down a little bit lower, but that's going to be CoreJJ in a bit of trouble. Depth Charge comes in, Dawning Shadow to try and keep his Nautilus alive as Quid gets into the backline. Supreme Display of Talent does so much work, and they manage to take down the Olaf, but still, Yeon is fighting. Quid still alive. Busio taken out as Morgan brings his Renekton into the backline. The Mega Blast Cone going to try and get Canna out to relative safety, but the charm connects, and TL, even without their Viking, are able to win the fight.
They're able to get the extra ones, and they can push the towers after this too. They've got mid wave and top wave all pushing in their favor. They only drop the Olaf this time with the burst damage at the very end there. Yike was able to get it off.
Was that a 5v5 over a blue buff?
Yeah, it looks
Hell
like
yeah.
Yeah. And it looked kind of, as you say, decent here for KC to begin with, because Yike doing a good job of separating. Busio has actually been able to keep people off of Caliste on this side as well, alongside Canna. And it's the Supreme Display of Talent that then sets things up.
Yeah, so Yike is able to burst down Olaf. Morgan is able to get back and then force Caliste flash away. And so the top side going well for them, and they have plenty of time then to finish up the zombie down there. I mean, Morgan is just kind of wrecking havoc here through these fights. This Renekton able to slip through with the slice and dice and get the extra pressure from the other side of the fight. Meanwhile, Giannis is free hitting here. The Senna stacks are at 80, okay? You know, he had a lane versus, double melee supports, stacking up souls there, and then continually stacking through all of these fights. And when the games are this action-packed and have so many fights.
This is crazy, by the way. LCS really making their way back in as far as the scoreline versus the LEC, as these stats actually include the 2 victories from TL earlier today.
And also, like, if you look back at the last 2 years, unfortunately, it hasn't been great for LEC. It's been LCS who've been able to get the best of us with Team Liquid picking up a 3-1, and then it was FlyQuest as well that managed to get the 3-0, I believe, over G2 too. So I was kind of hoping that this would be KC, who like have looked stronger than they did in the past, kind of stepping up on the international stage. Like we saw them at first time, but really getting a run at it at MSI just hasn't been the case, and this doesn't even feel like the KC we've seen domestically.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to rely on that strength of just still being able to win the team fights later. TL have still been able to get the better of them. All right, now setting up once again. I mean, I feel like it does get worse because we're still thinking about the Olaf and Senna combination.
Yeah.
Because the Olaf, when you're buffed up by Senna, like the healing and shielding, like Jose just becomes such a crazy threat.
And if you add several Chemtech dragons into that, kind of good.
Not to mention a Renekton.
It's going to be so hard to kill him.
Yeah.
Because if the Renekton and the Olaf are sort of like going for the same target, Senna is just giving both of them the same stuff. Just feels a little bit unfair. Dawning Shadow can be so powerful as well to keep them alive. But 20 seconds until Drake number 2 is available for TL, and still Soul available for KC. They can make it happen. Yike was pretty good on the Smite trigger finger earlier on today. This could be an opportunity for them to get a bit of power in this game.
All right, TL once again with vision control, nicely set up by them. It's going to make KC have to approach this dragon from some dangerous angles. They do have some blast cones to work with. You can get a little creative, but it's so scary. And you can see TL fanning out into this 3-point. They're keeping vision all points of entry over towards the dragon, and KC don't even want to take a part of it.
Yep, not going to be a thing. So that is going to be second Chemtech Dragon over to TL. I do like that KC realize they don't really have to fight for this if they can't get a good position, and so deciding to forego it for now and get some control towards the Baron Pit.
Yeah, they weren't really in a position to trade though for anything, right? Because you already had that top wave pushed out. Mid was fully pushed in by Team Liquid as well. So you kind of just saw kyeahoo move top, get a wave, and then that's been kind of the extent of it. So Team Liquid are doing a decent job as well before the setup for the objective of making sure there's not enough for KC to take anywhere else.
Yeah, and those experience disadvantages are becoming a problem for KC. I mean, Morgan has a straight 2-level lead over Canna. So like the side lanes are really, really hard for them to deal with, because a fed Renekton and an Ahri in the side lanes, very, very dangerous. So that's why KC keep having to catch a little, and then they like lose a little bit here, a little bit there when they're going to some of these setups. You know, and even Yeon is a full level ahead of Caliste. So we're going to start up the Baron.
Yeah, Yike is actually going to go back. They don't have any vision towards his Baron Pit. Busio, he cannot check it. They do manage to get the Scryer's Bloom, but the Baron already down to 50%. Yike realizing that he has to stick around, try and go for a bit of a trade here as the wall comes down. CoreJJ possibly caught out, flung back towards the team as he flashes away. Death Charge comes through. Yike is dead versus Canna. Stunned up. CoreJJ still alive as they're dashing into the backline. Caliste is going to keep himself alive, but now good sidestep as he takes down Quid and keeps himself alive. Jose, next one to fall. Canna should be wiped off the rift by Morgan, but TL, an even trade is not what they were looking for around that Baron.
Yeah, I think they were separated again. There certainly isn't the amount of focus that I was expecting in these fights when we're diving 2 different areas, and then you scroll back over and they're still on the Sion.
Because I thought that charm from Quid was about to just be the end for KC. You see here, they jump on towards CoreJJ, but just watch the charm here from Quid. He manages to sneak past Busio onto Yike. He doesn't get the ult off, and then you get this chase into the backline. But because the Olaf hasn't been hitting people, Josedeodo ends up with the ult falling off. He gets double hit by kyeahoo. You get the combo from Busio onto Quid. Caliste stays alive, and Canna's buying a ton of time in that backline where you have to draw Morgan away. So in the grand scheme of things, ends up being a 2 for 2.
Yeah, excellent peeling there from kyeahoo and Busio, keeping Caliste alive. Man, that Taliyah over the wall.
And Caliste being able to sidestep as well, avoiding the Orb of Deception. I mean, Quid just needed to hit anything, and he would have died. You saw Caliste go down exceptionally low. But man, really, really close stuff. TL did have control of the game, though, and so them going for an even trade going to be working out for KC.
But you can see the damage that was done in that last team fight. kyeahoo outpacing everyone on KC, and this has kind of been the call from KC. It's get kyeahoo into a side lane, try and feed him a bunch of gold. That's why he's the one member with an actual advantage when it comes towards the levels, working up towards that Rabadon's death cap. KC would love to have that before this Chemtech Dragon fight, which I expect is coming in just under 2 minutes.
All right, CoreJJ clearing out vision. Jose wasting no time, is already hitting the Baron. And there is another Scryer's Bloom that is going to spot that one out. So KC utilizing the map in order to get vision, as there is another anchor forward. Not exactly the optimal target, as Busio is the one that's focused, but Unbreakable Will now being on cooldown. That's a Renekton showing up. It does have the big old shield from that teleport from the top lane.
Honestly, that's pretty good for KC. They got the extra teleport out because they're the ones that used Sion teleport last time. So they did get the cooldown. Busio's recalling, though. Alistar with no ultimate is pretty hard to team fight.
Yeah, and they still have zero vision of this area. Yike not actually moving over. They do spot it with the scrying orb. But can KC actually go for this? There's the point-blank charm. Yike is wiped out by the Dawning Shadow. No smite, no chance of contesting the Baron here, as well as TL. Beautifully played.
TL set up wonderfully on that, managing to pick off Yike as he goes to the setup. As you say, there was no vision, no control at all around the pit, and TL knew it.
Now with the Baron buff, 4-1 split push, Ahri on top side, and as Morgan walks in.
Yeah, he's just face-checking here. Doesn't have the dominance available. Kolomik is going to be there as the rest of TL moving on forward. There's the unstoppable onslaught to get Canna out of there. That is now a big tool that he will not be able to use. The inner turret is going to be taken down towards the top side, and TL, this Rebel Baron power play already at 2,200. And Quid should be able to get away from this. I say that.
Doesn't have the ult yet.
Yeah, he has flash.
Oh. Yeah, Foxfire as well. Try and keep him be okay. The flash now has to be used, though, as, just barely able to slink past.
It is Yahoo's ultimate down, though, with the Chemtech Dragon just about to spawn. So you can see Yike trying to make his way out, but with the investment KC put into that top side, I just don't think they can really contest this once again.
Well, that is going to be 3 Chemtech Dragons here for TL, so that's their soul point to come on in. The maximum Elemental Dragons is going to be available here in this game. TL not going to be contested for this one. KC's base remains intact for now, but we are moving to some pretty dangerous gold levels.
We certainly are. And Morgan now has a 3-level full lead over Canna.
Oh, God. He's 5-0-7. This
your
is
favorite player, your favorite player on his favorite champion.
Oh, and he's having such a good game on it as well. Oh.
Busio?
Well, Morgan is just wondering who he's going to hit.
Where is Busio?
He is wandering towards Quid. Yike is going to be there as well. Busio is going to be in the Death Chamber as the Orb Deception comes on through. Doesn't care about the damage reduction from the ulti. So yes, to answer your question, gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's an anchor towards Canna as well, who is just going to get caught out of position, flashes out of the way, gets turned into a zombie as Morgan just wanders his way towards this inhibitor turret. And KC just kind of falling apart here as their base is doing exactly the same thing. Inhibitor going to go down towards the bottom side, and with the remnants of this Baron, TL, they should be able to get Nexus turrets for this as well.
Yike was still trying to flank. He was trying to flank this whole time as everyone was dying and the base is gone.
Well, the Nexus turrets are going to start falling down as look at that army of siege minions that are set up to take this last one away. Busio has respawned, though, so maybe that is going to help them out on the defense. But now it's a naked Nexus, and now it's TL so close to another date with T1 as Morgan flashes in. They get on top of kyeahoo. They wipe him out. Busio back to the Death Chamber again. And Caliste, he's on the fountain, but his Nexus is going to explode another 3-0 as Team Liquid destroy KC.